Women's Month will see the KZN Department of Health and Basic Education making great strides in advancing the health and well-being of young women. The rollout of the HPV vaccine across the province has begun in earnest. The campaign aims to get schoolgirls aged between 9 and 10 years old vaccinated against human papilloma virus or HPV, which causes cervical cancer. Now in South Africa, cervical cancer is the second most common cancer among women and the most frequent one among women between 15 and 44 years of age. Stats show that more than 7,700 women in SA are diagnosed with cervical cancer, with more than 4,000 deaths annually. Well, for more, we're joined from our Durban studios by MEC for Health, Dr Sibongiseni Dhlomo. Good afternoon, Doctor, and thank you for your time on the SABC News Desk.
Good afternoon, Kashni, and good afternoon to all your viewers.
Doc, why is this vaccine rollout such a significant milestone in the public health arena in South Africa right now?
As you have correctly captured it, Kashni, the second commonest killer amongst our women and the cancers is cancer of the cervix. Now, we will continue to screen all those that are 35 and above, and we encourage them to come forward for screening so that we can pick up cancer of the cervix as early as we can and put them on treatment if we find it. But now we have also been taught by the world researchers that if you give a human papilloma virus vaccine on the young girls who are not yet sexually active, you then are decreasing significantly an opportunity for them to later in life get cancer of the cervix. Now that is why we then took a national program to actually give the vaccination to the 9 to 10-year-old girls, those that you find in grade 4. And this is just a call, because this is now a third year that we are running this program. We want to remind the parents to help us to fill in those forms, the consent forms, because we do not vaccinate any young girl where there is no parental consent. But we really want them to assist us because we want to actually decrease the incidence of cancer of the cervix later in life.
Dr. Dhlomo, just speak to us very quickly of the link between this kind of vaccine and the Sustainable Development Goals when it comes to reducing things like maternal mortality and ensuring the good health and well-being of all.
There was a discussion that I held with a particular leader this morning who was teaching me that those girls who are predisposed to actually having an infection of the human papilloma virus later in life actually have a high pre-exposure to HIV infection. So among other things, we are also killing two birds with one stone by doing this, because you are right, we would want to impact positively on no young mothers should be dying either because of exposure to human papilloma virus, which therefore exposes them to cancer of the cervix, and also subsequently and collectively with the HIV infections, which is the highest cause of the maternal mortality in this country. So this is actually a plan and a program that is, among other things, going to alleviate that type of a pressure, impacting positively on MDG5, the maternal mortality.
Why is there still such a high mortality rate in South Africa when it comes to cervical cancer?
It is something that we should actually be advocating. In this province, we took a campaign that is called the Pillar Ma. Pillar Ma, that mothers, please be healthy. By that, we're encouraging to say every 35-year-old female should say, I have not been to the clinic, I must go to the clinic and actually be screened. Because cancer of the cervix, unlike the cancer of the breast, which also we still have a lot of challenges with that too, cancer of the cervix is a bit hidden. Most time we find women presenting for the first time with a vaginal bleeding. By that time they do present at that stage, it is almost so advanced. So we would like to say, one, they still have a small lesion, come forward. It's not painful at all. They don't feel any pain. Please, every 35-year-old female should then be presenting themselves to the clinic for the screening of the cervix, because if we pick it up so early, then we are guaranteed that we will actually save a lot of mothers and therefore don't have this crisis that we have currently.
Very quickly, MEC, how long is one protected for once vaccinated? What kind of coverage are we looking at?
We are informed by scientists that as we are now talking with you, Keshni, we are calling upon those that were vaccinated in the first tranche between February and March this year, and we repeat the vaccination again. Now we are calling upon August and September. We are therefore informed by scientists that if we give them 2 vaccines, that young girl is guaranteed for life to have a lifelong immunity against human papilloma virus, which will predispose that young girl to cancer of the cervix later in life. So that is actually, we find it extremely cost effective if we have to just give 2 vaccines, 2 doses, one in the beginning of the year and later in life to these young girls. Then they are guaranteed lifelong immunity for life, and that's exciting to us to do. That's why we are calling upon all South Africans, all 9 to 10-year-old girls in their grade 4 to really have parental consent so that we can give them this vaccination, which is very safe. At most, you get a small irritation at the injection site and a bit of a rash. Otherwise, we are also informed by those manufacturers and the scientists it's a very safe vaccine.
MEC for Health Dr Sibongiseni Dhlomo joining us from our Durban studios. Thank you for your time on the SABC News Desk.